Last year's world title race finale captivated the whole Formula One globe, including Daniel Ricciardo. In a radio interview just recently, as he finished the race, the Australian revealed his real feelings about the last lap drama in the 2021 end-of-year Grand Prix that saw Max Verstappen win the championship. Stick around to find out everything you need to know about Daniel Ricciardo and how he feels about everything going down in the F1 world right now. Daniel Ricciardo recently revealed shock at the drama in the F1 world that he never expected to happen again. With the repercussions of the most jaw-dropping lap in Formula One history still being felt, online sources spoke to Daniel Ricciardo of McLaren, who had the greatest perspective of the action. In December, Max Verstappen won the 2021 World Championship with a decisive decision on Lewis Hamilton in the final and crucial stages of one of the sport's most spectacular title fights. The two had been inseparable throughout the 22-race season, and they were tied for first place in the standings coming into the Abu Dhabi finale. With 5 circuits to go, Lewis Hamilton appeared to be on the verge of a record-breaking 8th World Championship, leading Verstappen by 12 seconds. But then calamity happened. A safety car was deployed after a Nicholas Latifi crash, allowing Verstappen to pit for new tires before probably the most divisive stewarding decision in Formula One history allowed lapped cars between the two to pass, leaving Hamilton as a sitting duck. The FIA's rules say that all lapped vehicles must pass, but that was not the case, with Ricciardo, who was last in line behind the championship contenders, getting the greatest seat in the house to see the drama develop. That was fairly effed up, the Australian said after the race, and he still feels that way, as he told talkSPORT, an online media source, at the presentation of McLaren's 2022 MCL 36 Challenger. Speaking further about the events, Ricciardo said, "I knew Lewis had a large lead, so I assumed the safety car meant he'd lose it. Then I was very sure I saw Max pit, so now Max has fresh tires, and I was like, oh my god, if they restart this, Lewis is probably going to lose the title on the last lap." Ricciardo admitted the event reminded him of the time Felipe Massa was denied the 2008 Formula One championship on the final lap, when Hamilton snatched the title by 1 point with a late move, stating, "I remember watching it in 2008 and thinking to myself, I can't believe this is happening again. So for some reason I put myself in Lewis's brain instead of Max's and thought to myself, man, I would hate to be Lewis right now because that's true heartbreak." It looked really bizarre and I was gobsmacked when I saw it in 2008. I was like, this will never happen again. A championship determined on the last lap, and I was behind the wheel watching it happen again, so I was pretty stunned. In 2021, Ricciardo was one of 6 different race winners, claiming McLaren's first victory since 2012 and his first since 2018. The 32-year-old has won 8 races in his career, but despite his desire to contend frequently for victories, Ricciardo stated that there were some features of the 2021 championship that were off-putting. Ricciardo's 12-year Formula One career has been a lot of fun, with many beloved fans watching his journey. Ricciardo finished 3rd in the standings in his first season with Red Bull in 2014, outscoring 4-time world champion teammate Sebastian Vettel, a feat he repeated 2 years later. Those fantastic seasons unfortunately coincided with Mercedes' impenetrable era of turbo hybrid domination, otherwise we could be talking about Australia's 3rd best world champion. Next, Daniel Ricciardo frothing over MCL 36 pre-testing. Here's what you need to know. Speaking of Ricciardo, he was left absolutely ecstatic over the MCL 36 pre-testing that just recently took place in Barcelona. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, set the fastest time in preseason testing in Barcelona, putting down an early flag ahead of the 2022 Formula One season. Hamilton's new teammate, George Russell, finished 2nd, giving Mercedes even more momentum. Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, finished 4th, narrowly ahead of Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez. Hamilton had the best time of 1 minute 19.138 seconds in the season finale in Abu Dhabi, where he was controversially beaten by Verstappen for the 2021 title. "It's been an intriguing few days," Hamilton said. "It hasn't been the easiest or smoothest running. We have some challenges to overcome. We always want more laps, but I'm pleased with today's performance. I got about 100 laps in half a day, which isn't terrible." Daniel Ricciardo told reporters that the testing had gone quite flawlessly for McLaren. Over the course of the week, the 32-year-old ran 212 laps in the MCL 36 on the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. "It was wonderful to get some wet running in," he said. "There was a lot to learn from it. After that, we went into a different program than yesterday, where we racked up a lot of laps, which was quite beneficial." He continued, stating, "Overall, a pretty flawless 3 days for the team, a really awesome start to the season. Thanks to everyone back at MTC for putting the hard work in over the winter to put us in this position. This could be a very exciting and successful year." Up next, Russian Grand Prix canceled due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and everything unfolding. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Formula One has canceled the Russian Grand Prix, and it has been revealed that if the race had gone ahead, the drivers would have likely boycotted it. The sport did not reprimand Russia, but stated that the race would be impossible to hold under the current circumstances. The race in Sochi Sochi was scheduled for September 25th, but it has been canceled as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. F1 announced the relocation 2 hours after UEFA said the Champions League final will be moved from St. Petersburg to Paris this season. The FIA Formula One World Championship visits countries all over the world with a positive vision to connect people and bring nations together, according to a statement. We are watching the events in Ukraine with grief and shock, hoping for a quick and peaceful conclusion to the crisis. On Thursday night, F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali convened a crisis meeting with the sports regulatory body, the FIA, and team leaders. Currently, it's unknown whether the race will be replaced. However, Istanbul Park in Turkey has been suggested as a possibility to cover the now vacant position on the calendar. Sebastian Vettel, a four-time world champion, has already stated that he would skip the Russian race and labeled Vladimir Putin's regime as crazy. Jamie Stone, a Liberal Democrat MP, also wrote to Domenicali requesting that the round be removed from the calendar. It is critical that the rest of the world, including international athletic organizations like Formula One, stand united in criticizing Putin's actions, Stone said. Russia should not be permitted to host renowned athletic events, hence the Russian Grand Prix should be canceled this year. He continued stating, "We all know Putin yearns for worldwide prestige and recognition. Putin standing on the F1 podium in Sochi after the race, as he has done in recent years, would be an affront to the world." On the last day of the preseason test in Barcelona, Russian-backed Team Haas removed the branding of its title partner Uralkali. Dmitry Mazepin, a Russian businessman, owns a stake in the fertilizer company, and his son Nikita competes for the squad. Gunther Steiner, the Haas team principal, claimed he couldn't guarantee the Russian driver's future and that the Uralkali sponsorship was in jeopardy. By F1 norms, a decision was made surprisingly swiftly, owing to the race's unanimity of opposition. Late last week, a statement was released. "We are saddened and shocked by the happenings in Ukraine and wish for a fast and peaceful settlement to the current situation." On Thursday evening, F1, the FIA, and all the teams discussed the state of our sport, and we have all come to the conclusion that, in the existing conditions, it is impossible to organize the Russian Grand Prix. With everything that's going on in the world right now, especially between Russia and Ukraine, is only set to intensify, and with practically everyone, including Russian citizens, being against this war, it's unfortunately those citizens that suffer the consequences, with countries all over the globe cutting off their support to Russia. It's very unfortunate that Russian drivers in Formula One are suffering from their president's rash and confusing decision. It remains to be seen how much further this war will go and whether it will impact more of the F1 world. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Daniel Ricciardo and how he is still shocked regarding everything that took place at last year's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Additionally, we also touched on other important and interesting F1 news, including how the Russian-Ukraine war has impacted the Formula One world. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Which one of these stories shocked you the most? And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching!